How is it going, guys? Drew Peacock here, back with another video, and today we have the first video in my new recording room, at least one that you guys can see. It's not done, it's still pretty empty everywhere, and I'm sorry for that. I don't have any lights really set up in here except for the stock factory lights, the OEM lights up there. So if the lighting isn't too pretty, I'm sorry, but today we're gonna be taking a look at some other pretty things. I'm gonna be drawing your attention away from me and to these pretty builds that are for sale on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. We're gonna be taking a look at some tuner cars for sale. If you see any of these, send it to my Gmail, drewpeacock.clip@gmail.com. Let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, first build, we have a 1993 Honda Civic all-wheel drive turbo, 25,000 smackaroonies right here. It's a stock K24A from a JDM TSX Type S, making 527 wheel horsepower and 423 torque on 14 pounds of boost with the 85. So my setup should be really similar to this, other than the all-wheel drive aspect of it. Obviously, I'm not going to be shelling out $10,000 to $15,000 to convert a $5,000 car to all-wheel drive. Although if it was my only car, I can completely see myself doing that, but I have other builds I got to do. We still got to put the built motor in the Supra and stuff like that, so I don't have time for that. But we have an EG hatch here, all-wheel drive. This has to be one of the most fun cars like you can get your hands on. Like I could just imagine that this thing is just the most fun car to drive anytime. Like you could drive this in the city, have fun. You could drive this on the freeway, have fun. If you dial it back a little bit, you could drive it in the canyons, have some fun. And then at the end of the day, you break it, it's Honda. It's all Honda parts. It's all relatively cheap and easy to rebuild. Still has full interior, and I don't blame him for that. Ripping out the interior of these old Hondas is like ripping off the plastic wrapper on like a Hostess cupcake. You're not reducing much weight there. We have a fuel cell in the rear. I'm guessing that's because to do all-wheel drive, you have to remove the fuel tank. That's something I never even thought about, but it makes complete sense. $25,000 doesn't sound too expensive either, all things considered. I mean, for a non-all-wheel drive turbo K-swapped EG, you're looking at about $15,000. So for an all-wheel drive one, that makes almost 550 wheel horsepower. All-wheel drive. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer at that point. And I mean, the engine base setup is just perfect. If you want to read his full description right here, you go ahead, go knock your socks off right here. One thing I'm gonna say is this car definitely hurts feelings. This car definitely makes Hellcat owners, Mustang owners, just everyone else makes them cry. Lambo owners makes them cry. Because having a 500 horsepower Honda Civic is already impressive and already fast. But making sure it can put the power to the ground is just revolutionary. God, I wish I wanted to do that to mine, but it's just way too much work. The car's already been down for too long. I can't have it down any longer. Anyways, $25,000 doesn't seem like a bad price if you ask me, but maybe there's some odds and ends here that need to be touched up, but personally, it seems pretty solid. Next car, we have a 2004 Dodge Viper. For $55,000, for $30,000 more, you can buy this Dodge Viper. And he was originally asking 72, so there's something up with this car. I don't know what's up with it, but there's something up with it. Oh, never mind, it actually sold. That's what's up with it. I guess it sold for $55,000. Christ, so still, that's far off of your asking price. I like Vipers. I've contemplated if I ever get rid of the McLaren to either go with a Viper or like a Corvette or something like that. Viper still has that kind of like supercar show to it, even though it's not. It's just way more rare than like a Corvette. I know all the New Balance owners at Cars and Coffee will have you thinking otherwise with all their brochures and shit, but how often do you see Vipers? How often do you see Corvettes? The only thing is these are widowmakers. These things will put you around a tree faster than a Mustang, so being a Mustang driver myself, now I have tamed the beast. I have tamed the Mustang. Being a Mustang driver myself, I don't know if I would want to take on something so scary as this. That being said, though, this thing is just so fucking cool. This is a cool one right here. So he's got Forged Star wheels. I mean, having a cluster that goes up to 220 miles an hour is kind of a flex. And if you look kind of closely, I think we could see a little intercooler sticking out right there. So what do we got? We have a centrifugal supercharger on this bitch. Is it a centrifugal or is it a turbo? I can't tell yet, actually. I doubt it's a single turbo. I'm pretty sure it's a centrifugal, but we'll find out. So if you wanted to wrap this thing around a tree even faster, this guy's got the setup for you. God, the hood is just so long, though. Like, it's just like half of the car is hood, and it's not even an exaggeration. Half of the fucking car is hood. So cool. I mean, I like what he did to it. It's all tastefully done. It's nothing too in your face. I think it's perfect aesthetic wise. Let's read his description though. 2004 Dodge Viper SRT10 converted to a 2006 coupe, just got detailed, recently rebuilt engine, 10,000 miles. High lift supercharger cam, beehive spring, so it's pretty much got built heads, ported heads. It's got a Paxton supercharger kit, upgraded fuel system to cope with the supercharger, obviously. Catch can, spark plugs, blah, blah, blah. Does he say how much power it makes? Same setup on E85 would easily push over 1,000 wheel horsepower. It dynoed already at 91 at 810 wheel horsepower. What the fuck? Is it built motor? I don't think it's built bottom end. I think he has some headwork, but I don't think it's built bottom end. 810, dude, you need some slicks on that bitch. These cars are notorious for breaking loose, and not having slicks on this is just insane. That might have sold me though on wanting one of these now. That is fucking sick. Anyways, $55,000 doesn't sound like that bad of a price for an 810 wheel horsepower Viper. That is cool. This thing probably sounds so wicked too. Oh my god. All right, $55,000, thumbs up. I like it. Moving on. 1992 Acura NSX, $105,000 for this. What the fuck is this? Now, I don't mean to be that guy that just like hates on cool cars, but what the fuck happened to this NSX? Like, this is like the most time attack looking NSX I think I've ever seen. And it's wicked looking, but for street driving, it's a bit much. Like, this thing is cool. This thing is pretty baller. I don't know what's up with the fitment. It looks like the wheels are poking out. I don't know what's up with that. But this thing looks like it gets down. I really hope it's not just like a pavement princess either, in the sense that it's just like a little cruiser that goes to park and chills and cars and coffee. But just the fitment is just really throwing me off. I don't know what's up with the fitment. Like, your offset is a little bit too aggressive here. The front is perfect. The rear though is like poking. Looks like we have a carbon intake up there, giant wing, obviously, plenty of aero going around, a wide body kit. It hardly even looks like an NSX anymore. Like if someone told me that this was an NSX, I probably wouldn't believe them at first. Like, it is definitely cool, but like I said, it's just a bit much. It's like got everything you could possibly want done to it. That thing is fucking crazy though. That thing is sick. I do like that though. I wish my McLaren had something like that. He's on work wheels. Right here doesn't look too crazy. Like, it doesn't look too in your face. Maybe it's because a lot of it's hidden with the lighting, but look at the rear wheel though. Why is it poking out like that? I just don't like that. Anyways, if you want to read all this, go for it. I'm sure the car is worth a good arm and a leg. Personally, and I'm not trying to upset anyone, it's just a bit too overdone. Like, this guy did everything you could possibly want to do to it, and it's just a little bit too much. And the rear wheel is just pissing me off. Why is it sticking out like that? That thing has to rub. Let me read his description really quick. Cars originally Grand Prix white. Previous owner had it painted midnight purple, including front bay, blah, blah, blah. Don't care. Clean title, 70,000 miles, $105,000. That's a lot. I don't know, love or hate it. To me, not a huge fan. I could be wrong though. I could be the minority here. Let's take a look at this car though. We have a 2015 Ford Mustang for $50,000. Now, you're smoking some good. If you think that I'm gonna compare this to the Viper and not be biased towards the Viper, I'm like $5,000 more, you can get a Viper, or you can get this fucking 2015 Ford Mustang. I'm going with the Viper. Anyways, obviously, this guy's letting us know he fucks, and he fucks hard. He's got twin turb skis underneath the hood. It looks like he's got a Roush front end on it. I don't know if it's a Roush car, but we'll find out. He's got no filters, so I'm already angry. The car looks aggressive, but the thing that irritates me is why manufacturers place intercoolers in like the worst spot possible. Look how big this intercooler is, and look how little air is getting to it. It just boils my fucking balls thinking of how this thing is going to make efficient power without overheating. On my Mustang, when I had my Pro Charger set up, I actually trimmed more of my bumper just to get more airflow into the intercooler, and I probably gained a good 2 inches more. And 2 inches is plenty. 2 inches is more than enough. But yeah, this just looks like it's just an overheating nightmare. On 3 performance twin turbo kit, no filters. Don't know who told you that was a good idea. It's probably not, especially when you're doing shit like this. The car looks great. I mean, we've only seen the front of it. Okay, it's on slicks. He's cut his diffuser out. Obviously, it's got hood exits, so he doesn't have an exhaust back there anyways. Is that a chemical guy sticker? Out of everything you throw on the side window, you have a chemical guy sticker. This photo's nice. The intercooler's like illuminating. It's reflecting light. I mean, the car's cool. Damn, he's even got aluminum Kirky seats. Like, it's a cool race car. Skinnies up front, slicks in the back. I wonder how much power it makes. If it's a non-built Gen 2, I guess, let's just find out. Why even guess? Let's just read his description. He's looking to trade. It's a proven 8-second quarter-mile car. It's got a built TH 400 3-speed transmission, 2-step, and a trans brake. Runs on C85 or E85. Wow, this thing is pretty fucking wicked. He doesn't say how much it makes, but I mean, an 8-second quarter-mile car, this thing's pretty quick. It's definitely a pretty dedicated drag car. I was talking to my tuner about potentially throwing a TH 400 in my Mustang, and on the highway, I'd be cruising at like 3,500 RPM, which in a supercharged 5.0 just doesn't sound too great to me. It just doesn't sound like something I really want to do. So this is like a dedicated drag car. If you want a dedicated drag car, this is the car for you. Last car, we have a 2006 Mitsubishi Evo 9MR for $42,000. This episode has been pretty expensive. If you're looking for a car, maybe wait till next episode, because you're not going to find it in this episode. This is a 630 horsepower Evo 9. Got RPF ones. It's got some sort of hood exit. Might be the wastegate screamer pipe right there. The thing I like about Evos is they never make their cars look too crazy. Like they always just look like they're ready to fuck around. Like right here, you can see the hood exit, you can see the turbo, you can see the intercooler, but he doesn't have carbon fenders. He doesn't have a giant carbon hood. He doesn't have a big wing. He doesn't have wide body flares. He's just like, try me and you'll see. God, that manifold just looks crazy. Whatever welder made this, I don't know if it's some Chinese guy from in China or some guy domestic here. Whoever made this though, they're insane. God, it's just so much going on in such small space. Like turbo, giant radiator, giant intercooler, all of that packed underneath this tiny little car's hood. 42,000 though. I don't know about that one. I mean, it's clean, but I don't know about $42,000 clean. After all, it's only a 630 horsepower car. He's selling it because he's got a new job and will be moving around, it sounds like. It looks like he's got a built motor in there, which is totally nice and totally cool, but I don't think you needed it for, oh, okay, no, he has an 860 horsepower tune. My bad. I didn't even fucking see that. So on 93 octane, it makes 630. On E85, it makes 860. My bad. You do need that built motor after all. 860 all-wheel horsepower. I need an Evo. I know I'll be getting myself into a lot of trouble having like the maintenance side of it, just because these things are shit boxes for the most part, but I fucking need an Evo. Is a built Evo worth 42 though? I don't know. This seems like a good $35,000 car. It's a great deal for that, but just 42? I mean, they are rare. It is an Evo 9. That is like the desired one, but I don't know. Maybe I just don't know Evo prices like that. Evo boys, comment down below. Is this thing 100% worth the price, or is it a little too high? Anyways, if I had to pick a car this episode, it would either be this or the Viper. Those are the two coolest cars of the episode, in my opinion. Let me know which car is your favorite of this episode. Comment it down below. Anyways, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Subscribe, and until next video, peace.